Yo, people, welcome back to the channel where we thought we have to speak about that game. Yesterday, we done a Champions League post-match carnage. Life's different. I never thought I'd be doing a Europa League post-match carnage, but then Michael cheekily reminded me this could be good practice for next season. In fact, Dylan, who's a Liverpool fan, says, Payne, we'll be discussing us in the Europa League next season if we don't fix up. Mustafa says UEFA Lona. We'll get into that. We'll see what Michael thinks about that. There's a hint of an accusation of favoritism there, it seems like. Barca defensive record was fraudulent. Man, I told you, Bilal. We all told Bilal. We keep telling Bilal. And I kept telling Michael, I said, there's nothing to be worried about this Barca. I spoke on it. I said, you'll get a draw at the very, very minimum. I know this game. But what a game it was. It was a mad game. We thought we have to speak on it. We spoke about Champions League, Bilal, last night and over the last 2 nights. And the games were drab, dry affairs, not much going on, tactical maybe. And to be honest with you, if you look around the early kickoffs around the Europa League, not many goals at all. Like a lot of nil-nils, a lot of draws. We might touch on Jose Mourinho's Roma losing in the last minute away to Salzburg. But the big game was the big game, and it turned out to be the big game. Two former huge clubs meeting at the random time of 5:30 in UK Europa League. That was an epic encounter.
Yeah, it is. It's mad, and it makes you think: is the Champions League the Champions League, or is it the teams who are the Champions League? And that's when the Super League debates, they come creeping up because it's like, you know what, we want to watch these teams, no matter what we say. Barcelona flying in La Liga right now, Man United coming up third now, only a few points behind City and Arsenal at the top. It's a big game, regardless of it's a round of 32 of the Europa League, and maybe UEFA found another way to keep making money. If they start adding these fixtures and then somehow they get at least one of these a year where 2 big teams play a Europa League, random time, random game. But yeah, now in terms of the game, it's exactly what I expected. Like I wanted to see, it's interesting. Like Barcelona, the more technically secure team, while United are just monsters right now in transition, pace up top. You don't know what they're going to do. They're so direct. Bruno, he gets the ball, he just looks up. And it's that contrast of styles.
Bruno right now is refusing to play a backward or a sideways pass. Even if he gives the ball away, he wants to get the ball and he just wants to look for Rashford or Sancho, whatever the case may be.
100%. You can see him every time. Like, even if it's obvious, and I know he's going to pass to Rashford, Barcelona defenders know he's going to try and pass to Rashford. Sometimes they can't even stop him. I was just like, you know what? He keeps trying. And you know what? With United, I'm impressed. I'm not going to lie. They're not. You look at what Ten Hag's doing, Michael. I know you're going to want to get into it. Weghorst. I thought I was seeing McTominay for a second. I'm like, is that the right tall guy I'm seeing in the middle? He's trying to put in slide tackles. He don't really know how to do it, but he's trying. And it's one of those ones where, it's mad right now.
Well, let's talk about the lineups. Michael, the lineups come out, and obviously the sort of, he's rotating a little bit here and there, but you kind of know the core of your team now. It's quite settled, quite straightforward. Malacia, very comfortable slotting in when Shaw needs to be in central defense. And then the midfield was where I don't know. I mean, you describe it. Was he actually playing there, or was it Rashford with a freer role and Weghorst was the target man? How did you see the actual lineup on the pitch as opposed to what we're seeing on paper?
I mean, it's pretty correct, to be honest. Weghorst,
really?
I mean, Ten Hag started this Weghorst in the middle against Leeds in the second half, and it was 0-0. He slotted him behind Rashford, and Rashford had the free roll up top. He just runs across the pitch so he could find him. And Bruno was playing right wing most of the game. He was interchanging a couple times. I even saw Weghorst on the wing, which I never want to see again. Get in the middle. You are a 6'7" winger, or the 6'7" player. Please don't be on the wing. Wan-Bissaka shouldn't have started for me. That was the one thing I was questioning Ten Hag about.
Why?
I wanted Dalot. You saw within like the first 5 minutes, Wan-Bissaka just let the ball go past them right into a Barcelona player multiple times. For me, especially because no Balde was playing for Barcelona, who's probably like their main threat off the left, bombing up and down. It was Jordi Alba, and I think Dallo was quick enough to deal with a 30-something-year-old Jordi Alba. There's Gavi was playing, so there's no winger there. Wan-Bissaka's best attribute is 1v1 defending. Put a pacey winger against him, he's locking them up. But against players that would trick him, go inside a little bit, Wan-Bissaka gets confused. And for me, he was generally the worst player on the pitch for me. I thought Wan-Bissaka was the worst player on the pitch for me.
It's mad because I genuinely don't believe Dallo gets to that tackle, where Alba gets to the ball. I don't think Dallo has the recovery powers, all the stride, all the tackle capacity. And he denied a definite shot on target at the very, very least.
But the counterpoint to that is that came off Wan-Bissaka not being able to control the ball. Dallo controls the ball and doesn't lead to that chance. So it's a mixture of both. But I mean, honestly, pulling up to Barcelona, big Barcelona, new camp.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're doing Barcelona.
They still are big Barcelona. Leaders of La Liga to 8 points clear of big Real Madrid in La Liga.
You've been on near enough every Eurostars show. I've been saying about this La Liga.
I know La Liga's crap, but even though it's still a big European game, United struggle against Spanish opposition. Not even Barcelona. Real Sociedad beat us this year. Last year against Atletico Madrid, we got spanked. So it's still a big game, and we pulled up with the Woot White Horse and the Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and even I'll touch on Sancho later. And for the first 65, 70 minutes until we tired out, we went toe-to-toe with them. And for me, we were the better team. And next week, they got to come to my ends now. They got to come to Old Trafford. So
we're gonna talk about the second leg obviously later on and see where we're going. But Bills, I'm like Michael's hyped up this Barcelona team like it's the one under Cruyff and them man and Rijkaard and them man. Look, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna give the same energy that we gave to the Spurs Milan game, all the other games. We looked at the lineups. Now, I look at that lineup. I see Alonso and Alba as your left back and your centre back. Okay. I see Koundé and Arujo. Okay, right side looks strong. Obviously, it was the other way around. Again, looking in the midfield, I see a pivot of Kessie and De Jong. And then I see Pedri, Gavi, Lewandowski, Rafinha. Now, look, on paper, Rafinha ain't been good. Lewandowski ain't the old, fresh Lewandowski. And Gavi and Pedri are young ballers that are going to be hot and cold. I really didn't see what Man United were or should have been fearful for. The draw for me is the minimum they should have got, because I think Man United had a stronger team or squad possibly right now. Without Dembele, Ferran Torres has not been all that. Without NC Fau, I didn't see the pace. I didn't see where they're going to get behind this Man United team.
Yeah, you know what it is, right? And I think a lot of Barcelona fans today were not happy with this lineup. A lot of changes, like no Balde. Although Alba's come in and he's changed games recently. Whenever time I watch Barca, like Alba's come in, affected the game. Even today, we know Wan-Bissaka made that challenge on him. Like Alba is smart, man, and I rate him. I know he has his critics. Yeah, he has his critics, and I know some people want to see Balde, but starting Alonso, although he did get the goal, it doesn't make great sense. Christensen probably should have played unless he had a knock or anything, but he ended up coming on anyway. For me, you look at this team, obviously, even without Busquets, which sounds mad because a few months ago I said, Busquets, bro, you got to retire. But he's been important to this team recently with all the other midfielders around him. Busquets actually become really important in there as well. No Dembele, yes. Pedri going off injured isn't great as well. Araujo, a right back. Okay, so they put Araujo right back saying he's going to lock up Rashford. Mate, Rashford's not even on the left, mate. He's everywhere else but there.
Well, he done a smart one, didn't he? Ten Hag put him on the right.
100%, and this is what I'm trying to say. Like, the two managers at this moment in time, you've got Man United with Ten Hag. Ten Hag is a top-tier manager. He's an elite manager. While you've got Xavi.
Elite, relax with the elite.
Nah, he's elite.
I know he got the trophies. I know he got the trophies behind him in terms of everything.
He ain't elite, man. He's a very good world-class manager. He's
okay, if you want to do it by trophies, then okay. Then
he's elite. He's tactically elite, though. Tactically, he's elite.
Exactly. He's a tactically elite. And he's shown me already at Man United, he's a very strong man manager. To take control of that club, not many men could do that, and he's done that in a few months, really, right? So he's come in and he's taken over. So I really rate Ten Hag and I respect him as a manager. And I fear him a little bit as an Arsenal fan, right? That's how much I rate him. But with Xavi, again, you have a manager who's is learning his trade. He was in Qatar, right? Was it Qatar? Right? I'm pretty sure he was in Qatar learning his trade. He's come to Barcelona
first
now.
job.
First job. He's going to make mistakes. Even today, Rafinha is getting into the game. He's hot. He's feeling good. You take him off. His subs are questionable as well. His starting 11, tactically, what are they trying to do? He left himself really exposed in that first half. And Rashford should have scored in that first half. They could have even been 2-0 down. They kind of got away with it. So even this 2-2 in the end, I know they had that good spell as well towards the end. In a way, it's a good result. But at the same time, going 2-2 to Man United, Old Trafford next week. Pedri now confirmed, by the way, guys, injured 3 to 4 weeks. He's not going to be available. And Gavi out with a yellow card as well. So Ansu Fati is going to have to come in. I don't know if Busquets is around. He's going to have to come in.
He's doubtful.
They need to figure out how to do something and take control of the game, because otherwise, without Pedri and without Gavi today, we saw Gavi. People said, "Nah, this kid ain't that good. This kid is good, aggressive." No, listen. People say he's not good, but I watch him. I see his desire, first of all, which is not. That's not a barometer of a great player. That should be standard, right? But he puts himself about, and technically he's a good player. Him and Pedri are really important to this team in terms of the energy as well. We talk about the likes of Lewandowski.
They're not. They are the energy of this team. They're the heart.
Exactly.
They're the pace. They're the energy, desire, drive, and of course, no shortage of technical ability. Because De Jong's your playmaker. He's the original, the setter of tones, the orchestrator. Yeah. And then Kessie, they brought him alongside him for energy and legs because Casemiro and Fred are all about action and energy. So I understand what he's done by bringing in Kessie. I just don't see people running in behind. And you saw a couple of times where they had a counter, but Varane was nice. Varane was comfortable because he knew Lewandowski ain't going to run me. You know, Rafinha had Malacia, who's a right little ratty type fullback. He just loves fouling and snarling away. And you know, Rafinha had a better game than he's been having, but Malacia comfortable, man. I agree with you guys that Man United were comfortable, but Barcelona take the lead, Michael. And it's a guy I was literally cussing as soon as the team lineup's coming out. Shout out Brown Monday, Brown Fellas. We done a wicked debut show early in the day. And I was, as soon as the team lineup came out, he came in the thing, and I was like, Alonso. Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here, Barca. You don't stand a chance. You're playing Alonso against possibly the most informed forward striker, call him what you want, in Europe. Yeah, you're asking for trouble. And then you got Alba as well. So, yeah, from a defensive point of view, he was not great. But he's got a knack of scoring goals or being in and around goals. Even at Chelsea, remember, he don't do shit and then gets a bad boy assist or a strike. You take the lead, and what are you saying when they take the lead?
David De Gea, it's time to learn a new language. This guy needs to leave my club tomorrow. I'm so tired of this guy. I'm so tired of this guy. Every single week. This guy
saves you every single week.
No. Don't do that. He has a negative percentage of saving. Anyway, in terms of he allows more goals than he should. So he don't save me every week. This guy is a hologram in net. Like, just go claim a club. He got better at it later in the game. But for me, when I look at position I need to be upgraded, David De Gea is arguably one of them. Because for me, it's just not the modern goalkeeper. He will do well at a club that concedes so many shots because he's a decent shot stopper. But with his
he's mad.
Nah, not mad. That was 5 years ago. He was mad 5 years ago. Now the levels have lowered a little bit. But even on the ball, I saw him pass the ball. Sometimes it was weak. And even when he lumps it forward, like every single time he lumps it forward, we're not gonna win the aerial duel because he lumps it. It's not like a direct pass where the player can control it first time. So for me, it's just he doesn't command his box like Sammy said in the. Just David De Gea, he doesn't make me comfortable. Like we saw Marc-Andre ter Stegen today. He breathes confidence in his defenders. David De Gea doesn't. That's just for me. For that goal, I blame him because he gotta come out and claim that as a goalkeeper. Because I look at other goalkeepers like Alisson. I'm jealous of every time I watch Alisson because that's the best goalkeeper in the world. I'm jealous of Marc-Andre ter Stegen, the way he just rolls the pass. You saw that pass that he played to Rafinha over the top where Luke Shaw got his head on it. That's the kind of goalkeeper I want. And with
ter Stegen's a bit of a bozo, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
against him.
Every goalkeeper has his moments, but Ter Stegen this year has been really good, and I just think with David De Gea, it's time to we just gotta move on, bro. Servant of the club legend, one of the greatest goalkeepers this club has ever seen, and I'll always thank him for kind of keeping us afloat after Sir Alex left. But you always gotta move on in life, and it's time to move on and finding the goalkeeper.
Wow. Kevin, channel member, shout out Kevin. He says, do we need to move him on? Yes, but the game today, he was good. Laugh my ass off. I thought, well, we're going to come to the end. But, okay, so Alonso takes the lead. And I'm still not comfortable. I'm not going to lie, but when I mean comfortable, like, I think Man United are in this game, way in this game. Like, I think they're too much in this game. Like, Barcelona need to think of something, how to stop this shit, yeah? But it was inevitable. Fred's a pass through to Rashford. Now we're talking about keepers. Does he need to stop that near post, or is that a crisp near post finish? Because he gets a clean strike on it. Don't get me wrong, but we save it with your feet. I know you're gonna say, "Oh, big men can't get down," because you was talking about that yesterday or something.
Yeah, that I was just giving Donnarumma the excuse.
Donnarumma.
I felt sorry for him.
But the great keepers that have been in the past, if they can't save, and De Gea is one of them. De Gea is one of them. I think Michael's being harsh on De Gea because De Gea was one of the best that if he couldn't save it with his hands, he would feet. So bit of a mistake or great finish?
It's not a mistake, but you shouldn't really ever get beaten at your near post. That's the one rule really of being a goalkeeper. Your near post is not somewhere you should
unless it's like top.
It's not unless it's top, them ones where it's like a rocket top corner, like it's gone roof of the net. You can't you can't stop those ones. But the way Rashford hit it with pace, yes. Maybe just caught him a bit unawares, maybe didn't expect it. But when they've come behind, like they've gone in behind so quickly after scoring, that's always a risk. You need to be awake. How have you fallen asleep so quickly after taking the lead? And this is the thing with Barcelona. They've had this good defensive record in La Liga, but they've not come up against teams like Man United.
Yeah, of course.
And even the other day, as I said, I was watching them. Well, the game against Girona, that was one of the games I felt like, listen, they conceded like so many chances. They should have conceded, kept a clean sheet. And it's one of those ones like they're having a lot of games like that. They don't play great. They're not really playing that well. They're conceding chances, but in La Liga, they're getting away with it. But when you're playing now top teams like Man United in the Europa League, then it's unlucky for them. It's unlucky for them that they got Man United maybe, because if they had gotten one of these other weaker teams in the round of 32, they could have maybe scammed their way to a little semi-final or final and then somehow worked it out from there. But now, the balance of this tie is fully in Man United's favor. I think Lisandro Martinez is back, right, Michael? So that's going to be
someone was saying earlier, Martinez and Sabitzer will be available for the second leg. And then you're taking away Pedri and Gavi from Barcelona. Ain't looking too good for Barcelona. I've got no confidence in Barcelona. But we'll give our opinions on what the situation is very quickly. Super chat to get out of the way before we get into the events. After that, Zaid says, jealous about Qatar bidding on Man United, Grizz? No. What's the difference? What's going to be the difference in Man United's policy? What?
Lots of things.
Like what?
Instead of buying bums with that billion, we're going to buy good players with that billion.
Why? Explain why.
Because they're going to put a better structure in. You can't put it in a worse structure than Ed Woodward and John Murtaugh. It's kind of impossible.
That's pure gas. You're going to spend money.
Yeah, no.
You've been spending money.
Yeah, but we'll spend the money wiser.
Why? Not because of new owners. Nothing to do with new owners.
Yeah, it does, because they put a better structure in.
Owners won't have nothing to do with that. Owners, they won't even have running of the football side. Structure is going to take years to put in place. You're just going to spend money like Todd Bowley. You're going to spend like money like you guys spend money. Like the question is, I'm going to be jealous eventually, but not because they're putting a bid for you. When it's all done and you become great and consistently great, then I'll be jealous. But to answer that super chat, I ain't jealous because your bid's gone in. Bid can go in, man. They could like Qatari can buy you lot for £5 billion or whatever. Keep spending money on Man United. Keep buying the debt of Man United. When you become great again, that's when I'm going to become jealous. I ain't jealous about your owners. I'm going to be jealous. I'm jealous right now of Man City. Like 5 league titles in 6. I'm jealous. That's what I'm jealous about. I'm jealous of Real Madrid winning Champions Leagues when we should have won those 2 Champions League. That's what I'm jealous of. I ain't jealous of money and Chelsea and money and money. It is what it is, man. You have to deal with the hand that you're dealt with. You know what I mean? That you're dealt, sorry. But Michael, you get that equalizer and then tells what up. Tells what up. That's when you know Man United should have killed off that tie from that period to around, like you said, what, 65th minute or something like that. Why didn't you put them away? What was wrong? What was missing? For me, I'm gonna address the elephant in the room again. Jadon Sancho.
You want to go first on him, or you want
Oh,
me to This is you. All right. With Man United, I want to say one thing. The biggest benefit that Man United players have when they get injured is that people forget how bad they were previous to injury. Anthony Martial is one of them. Every time he gets injured, 2 weeks later, we're like, we miss Anthony Martial. He needs to get back. And then he comes back, gets injured. Jadon Sancho was away for 3 months. And in those 3 months, we kind of forgot how poor he was before he went on wherever he went in the Netherlands. And he came back. Yeah, he got the goal against Leeds. But in that game against Leeds, I automatically noticed his weaknesses. He's not a threat to a defender. If I'm a fullback, I'm not scared of Jadon Sancho. And the first thing as a winger is your opposing fullback needs to be scared of you. They need to be pushed back. You see it with wingers.
You need to threaten him with one of your attributes, either power, strength, skill, or pace.
He has none of those. He has a couple skills in him. He's a decent. He's decent on the ball.
Decent, good control. Yeah.
But he's not quick. He's not powerful. So it's just, for me, I just think Man United should have never came to Man United. It's a player that even when he first came, all he was talking about his speed and his goals. I'm like, this guy's not a goal scorer. That's his first thing. He's not quick. The Bundesliga makes you obviously look quicker because of all that grass that you can run into. But with Jadon Sancho, I like him as a player, and I think he has talent in him. But I just think for the Premier League is not the right move. He should have gone to La Liga. He would have continued looking like one of the best young players in the world if he went to La Liga, or if he made the move to like Bayern Munich, for example, in the Bundesliga. Those are the teams he needs to go to. Or even to Man City, because Man City, you don't need to be a quick winger. We see it with Jack Grealish all the time. Even though he's been a little poor in terms of price tag, but you can see Jack Grealish sometimes has influence, and that's what Jadon Sancho needs. And on the wing, it's not an answer. Can he move more centrally? That's a question, because he's, like we said, he's not physical. Jack Grealish can ride challenges, Paul. Yeah. Like he's powerful. He has a good low center of gravity.
He's the one.
Yeah, we saw it at Aston Villa, bro. You couldn't get Jack Grealish off the ball. But Jadon Sancho, he was going up against sometimes Alonso, Christensen, whoever he came up, even against the fullback sometimes. He couldn't skin them. Bro, show some power. And I just think with Jadon Sancho, once like Ten Hag sees more wingers, once Garnacho has taken, for me, Garnacho is going to take that spot sooner rather than later. When Garnacho can finally be a consistent starter, because right now he's an impact player off the bench, so Ten Hag doesn't want to start him, rush him in. But once that next stage of development comes in, Jadon Sancho will get moved on. And he's not a Ten Hag signing. Ten Hag never signed him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signed him. So Ten Hag can get rid of him. Yes, he did well with the man management, because you saw Jadon Sancho was fading mentally and physically, and he got him back on that. But I just think a move will have to come sooner rather than later. Because for me, bro, he's just not it. Because you look at Marcus Rashford, we saw how when he came back, like he struggled last year. And right now, I'm not even joking, bar Mbappe, there is not a winger on this planet that I am taking over Marcus Rashford. Not a single winger on this planet. This guy on the transition, bar Mbappe, is the best in the world. He's powerful. Every defender that comes in his way this season, Saliba, Gabriel, Araujo, Koundé, whoever Man City have, Liverpool have, he smacked them all up. No, all smoke. World Cup was amazing. While Gareth Southgate was probably kicking himself in the head every time he sees Marcus Rashford score, because he didn't play him against France. And you're seeing the levels rise. Because last season, a lot of people were saying Jadon Sancho has a higher ceiling than Marcus Rashford. Right now, if anyone says that, you're gonna think they're smoking crack.
Fair comment, Bilal. Fair comment on the Rashford situation and the Sancho, what he's talked about. Yeah. And then back to the game in terms of Man United really should have capitalized. Well, they do kind of capitalize, because they get a scrappy. Is it on goal in the end?
Yeah, on goal.
Yeah.
Great move by Rashford.
But the contrast in Rashford and then suddenly Weghorst and Sancho is mad. It's literally Rashford FC right now, with maybe a bit of Bruno somewhere.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with Sancho, and I love the fact that Michael brought up Grealish, because with Grealish, he's so powerful. He's not the quickest, yes, but he's so direct. He's so annoying. When you come up against Grealish like I did the other day, you're just like, you know what? This guy is just annoying. And even at Villa, the things he used to do, the way he used to carry the ball up the pitch, the amount of free kicks he wins, he's not afraid to get hurt. He puts himself about. With Sancho and Grealish, they have similar skill sets, but the difference is Sancho just does not have that physicality. He does not have that desire to really get himself hurt, put himself about, and really try and take, because he can I'm sure he can do a little burst, get past the right back and win a free kick, do something like that, change it up a little bit. But really and truly, he's not doing enough at Man United. And I don't know what's going to happen to him at the end of this season if he moves on. If he's going to have a few months, if it doesn't work out in United, let's say they're going to get new owners. Are you really going to keep a Jadon Sancho in your team? But on the Rashford point now, this man.
Yeah, exactly.
This man, he's not a kid. It's one of those ones. Like, he's got that Lingard syndrome where we all think he's like 22 when the guy's like probably 28. But yeah, with Rashford, he's unbelievable. He is actually an incredible player. He's a weapon. And, those last 2 years blurred it for a lot of us, where it's like he was playing every single week under Oli, especially. He was getting injuries. He was playing through injuries. He didn't look the same, Marcus Rashford that we were used to when he first broke onto the scene. But now with a manager like Ten Hag, who is really coaching him, who's got the team playing in a good way, you can start to see his talents. And he's just a top player. He's a type of player. It's like an Mbappe for PSG in terms of, doesn't matter what the rest of the team's saying. When you've got such a deadly player, he can change the whole game for you. And
this is what we were talking about. Do you know what? This is what we were talking about, the PSG and Bayern tie. Mm-hmm. And the reason why we were saying PSG not out of it, because Mbappe, like Rashford's showing those levels right now.
100%. Rashford is showing those levels. It's consistent now. Even these last few games, Michael, I'm seeing him come into the number 9 position. He's scoring headers. Like what's going on? Like, I thought he couldn't be a number 9.
I genuinely I think his long-term future is as a number 9, because it allows him to move more freely on the pitch, and you can't, because once the teams have figured out.
So this is the dilemma Mbappe has in his own head as well, because Mbappe apparently feels like he wants to be that left side free roll, come in when he wants, go out when he wants, and I think Rashford's very, very similar.
Yeah, bro. I mean, because teams have figured out when Rashford starts on the left, they could just double up on him and it isolates him, and then we can't progress the ball. Obviously, you can't do that against PSG with Mbappe because you have Neymar and Messi to worry about. Man United, we don't have a Neymar and a Messi, so teams have figured that out, and that's what Ten Hag did against Leeds. You saw Rashford was not getting on the ball, moved him in the middle. Within 5 minutes, he scores a header. And I just think, for me, depending on the striker Man United get, if they plan on getting just like a Victor Osimhen, honestly, I think Marcus Rashford can play through the middle, and you go get him a creative winger on the left that can create chances for him. But if you're gonna get the link guy like a Harry Kane, then yeah, Marcus Rashford can play out to the left, because Harry Kane can ping balls for days to Marcus Rashford, and we're gonna be singing Kumbaya with those two. But it's up to what Man United do. But Marcus Rashford, even on the right today, he was threatening off the right. With me, is as long as he doesn't start on the right wing, because once he starts on the right wing, he starts getting like, I don't want to be here. I want to be playing through the middle. But when he's in the middle, he's like, all right, yo, let me go pop on the right wing for like 2 seconds. Let me cause some damage there. And that's what he did today. I think the second goal was because he went on the right, went down the touchline, created a chance. That's what you got to do. So I don't know. Just for me, it's just like, I didn't expect him to make this jump. Because honestly, like in the summer, I'm like, yo, this guy, it's not looking good for him.
I've been telling every United fan that I know. I've been saying you lot are wild and you're mad if you're writing off. And I'm sorry to say, quite a majority of fan base were ready to write him off. And I was like, yo, you lot are mad. I'll take him tomorrow, Can you imagine him under Jurgen Klopp? Can you imagine him in this Liverpool team? Salah and Rashford on the flanks. Are you mad?
The Trent Diag.
Oh, Lord. We'd be eating nice, but look, it is what it is. Look, you take the lead, Michael. Did you feel comfortable taking the lead? Did you think, yeah, we're going to move on now? Up.
Yeah.
Go and get that third and tie over, really.
Actually.
What did anything change tactically that you thought that enabled Barca to get back in the game? Like, wow.
Not really. I mean, if you think about it, the goal came from a mistake from Casemiro. He played the pass too short, and Barca capitalized. So it wasn't even that. We were comfortable. Even after we took the lead, we were pressing up high. They couldn't play out of our press. It's just we made a mistake, and that's just Man United's downfall of the season. They've been so good in so many games. Bar a couple games where we got dominated, I'd say like Man City when they slapped us up at the Etihad, and the first 2 games of the season. Every game we've been in, I felt comfortable. Like we were in the game. It's just individual errors, and we made the individual error tonight, and we went 2-2. But at least we didn't concede the third. That's what mattered. And also that Rafinha cross was just a perfect cross. Like it took out like 2 players. It took out Varane and took out De Gea. So it is what it is. But honestly, I am disappointed at a draw. I thought we were the better team, but Erik ten Hag, this guy just changed my life. It's just ridiculous. A year ago, we played Spanish opposition against Atletico Madrid, and I wanted to gouge my eyes out because that was one of the worst performances I ever seen. But in a year later, we're pulling up. I know Barcelona are not like the prime Barcelona, but still a big away game, European night, even though it's Europa League, and we went toe to toe with a team that is known to dominate the ball. Old Man United, even when we were good, we would have been sitting back and just hitting them on transition. There were moments where we dominated that game. We were passing it around. Even later in the game, we had like a 5-minute spell to take away the pressure from them where we were just passing it around in their half, making sure that our defenders can rest up. And for me, it's just showing. Also, why I thought we conceded is like, you've seen the lack of quality. Barcelona had weapons off the bench. Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres. While, yes, Ansu Fati is not the kid that he was when he was 18. He's still a more threatening player to bring off the bench than anything we had. And it just shows for me, when Ten Hag gets his sign, once we start upgrading our team more, I promise you, center mid, striker, or another winger that's creative off the wing, and a goalkeeper. And I promise you, Arsenal, Man City, whoever it is, we're coming next year because Erik ten Hag has shown me that he is the guy. Jose Mourinho, yes, we won the trophies in 2016-17, but I didn't feel the confidence I feel with Erik ten Hag that this guy can start not a dynasty, but he can bring us consistently fighting for titles and winning a title. If we don't win a title within the next 3 to 4 years, I will be very disappointed. I'm hitting those levels or Champions League, one of the two, because I think next year, once we're in Champions League, ain't no team want to book us in Champions League because while Ten Hag is a positional play coach, it is our heritage to dominate teams on the counterattack. And when you have a Marcus Rashford, you're a danger to any team. So Bayern Munich, PSG. I said on Twitter on Tuesday, I said we're one of the top 5 teams in Europe. And today, I was worried that Barcelona would whoop us, but they didn't do that. And it showed to me that we are a top 5 team in Europe. And I think on any day, give it any team in the world, I think we could beat them. Napoli, Man City, we showed we could beat Man City. Arsenal, we've beaten this year. Who else is a top 5 team? Real Madrid, I promise you, give me Real Madrid, we'll beat them. So I'm that confident in Man United, which is unusual for me because I'm more of a pessimist in a sense the last couple of years, given right because Man United have always let me down the last 5 years. But I think that change has come.
Bilal, we let him flow there. We like United fans having chest again because the fall is always sweeter when they fall from those high elevated places that they reach in their head. But fair play to him. I get it. I sense the right feels amongst United and United people. But coming on to Barca, what changed then? Because he was getting dominated. Barcelona were getting dominated. Michael's right. Casemiro up till then. Did you see that I tweeted where he just buoyed Gavi? And he just looked at him. He said, do you know who the fuck I am, bro? Like, I'm the Don. Remember me? You know what I mean? Like, I was in this league and I run this league. I kind of felt sorry for Gavi. He was like a little boy. But what changed? Because there was a momentum shift, change, call it what you want. Was it just a goal? And it was a bit of a lucky goal. Rafinha just meant to cross it, right? But then from that goal onwards, Barca could have and probably should have nicked it.
100%. It's one of those ones. I think it came with that goal. Yes, United made a mistake.
What was the substitutions they made? Michael, do you remember any?
They brought in, they took out Alba for Balde. Yeah. They took out a midfielder, I think for
Kessie.
Kessie for Fati, and Rafinha was for Ferran.
And Christensen as well.
And Christensen for Alonso.
So I think the Balde and Christensen, stabilized things a little bit more. And Balde had the energy as well to get up the pitch. He was even winning free kicks at one point as well. I was like, okay, something's happening here. But when you make that mistake against a team like Barca at home, the energy is just different. Obviously, they know they need to go 3-2 up. It's one of those ones. 2-2 is a bad result for them. They don't want to go to Old Trafford 2-2, got to fight now, try and get a win at Old Trafford. So for them, obviously, they're going to come out and fight. And it was a bit weird because he took off Rafinha, and that was a sub for me that didn't.
Yeah, he didn't like that. And
Rafinha obviously was unhappy with it. And I understand it. Like, Rafinha is always, obviously, even saw in the summer, like, Arsenal wanted him, Chelsea wanted him. He didn't want any part of that. He wanted to just go to Barcelona. So he's living his dream. He's got his goal. He's thinking, let me now stamp my claim. Ousmane Dembele is not about. Let me be that guy who's going to be the go-to winger week in, week out. But again, Ferran Torres, despite what people think about him, all of the Spanish coaches love him. The Enriquez love him. The Xavi loves him. Pep was a fan of him. I'm sure Arteta's a fan of him. They all love Ferran Torres. And even when he came on, there was that cross he played in towards the end to Araujo. And damn, I thought that was in. That was the moment where it should have been 3-2. I think Malacia was there, kind of blocked it off. And that was the moment. And United from there were sweet, man. When you go away from home to the Camp Nou, you're going to have those moments in the game. 15 minutes, doesn't matter who you're playing against, what sort of players. Yeah, you're going to have those moments. You need to ride it out. They rode it out. And I think Michael's right, man. Ten Hag, it's dangerous. That's all I'm going to say. Because,
I get it. No, look, I'm not being deluded. I'm not head in the sand, as they say. I see what they're doing over there. They're doing something nice. They're doing something good. They've got the right man in place there. And you can see the effects he's having. But as Michael was saying, top 5 teams in Europe, I wouldn't like say, oh, yo, calm down. I would have a conversation about it because there isn't great teams around. I've been saying, we've been doing Eurostars, all these people hyping up the Bundesliga and the French league and all this. Bro, we've seen it. Serie A is dead. PSG in the French league, dead. Bundesliga, Bayern, not great, but okay. Yeah, Union Berlin is the fucking top team in Bayern and in Germany right now. I'm not top team, but you know what I mean, like the hot team. And then you got Napoli in Serie A, which is the standout. Who else?
I would still say Bayern though. Still say Bayern are better than United,
no.
You know what it is with Bayern? Like even I went to that game where they rocked up to Barca 3-0 demolition. Barca, Bayern are that team. When it's a big game, they just turn up and they know how to play. Yes, I even saw Bayern fans, some of them saying they hope they lose the Bundesliga this year for the competitiveness of the Bundesliga.
I promise you, Julian was getting his P45 right away if he loses Bundesliga.
Yeah,
right
of course.
You
can't lose that. But in terms of the top 5 teams, I'll put Man City there this year. On form, you'd put Napoli, you put Arsenal. And then after that...
If you put Arsenal, you got to put United.
Yeah. If you want to, then
Madrid, Barcelona, because Barcelona...
I would put Bayern in my top 5 still. So I put Bayern, City in my top 5. And then Napoli, that's 3. And they're all in the Champions League, those 3 teams. And then after that, listen, you say Real Madrid... It depends. It's one of those ones. Real Madrid not actually a...
That's what I mean. The conversation is there.
Yeah.
So, all right, because let's think about it. Barcelona have been better than Real Madrid this year, right? By far, they've been the better team. And we dominated Barcelona. So what makes you think that we can't dominate Real Madrid? We're even worse defensively.
But it's not like Real Madrid don't have a bad squad though. Real Madrid have a really good team.
But obviously, on a UCL night, we are not better than Real Madrid. I will say that right now because they will dominate us in the UCL night because they have the heritage. But I'm talking about like in a one-off game. If it's not UCL, just a regular one-off game. Without having that UCL pressure.
Right now, it's difficult to argue. I might stretch it to the top 6 in Europe. I don't know.
This is what I had before. But when I said it, actually, I take it back. I was swap Bayern I had Barcelona in the top 5 because how good they've been this year domestically. But I'll take them out and put Bayern in. I think Napoli have been the best team in Europe this season, in my opinion, from like the start of the season to now because they barely lost games. And UCLA look good. Man City, no matter what, I know on any given night, Man City will dominate any team in this world. I think Arsenal have been better than us this season. They've had more consistency, even though obviously come May, who knows? We might be better. We might finish above them. Who knows? Come May, anything can happen.
Doubt it. I'm not gonna lie. Calm down.
I said maybe, bro.
I ain't ruling out. I think if you don't win
one injury to party, I promise you we're finishing above you. One injury to party, I promise you we're finishing.
You don't see Jorginho, man. Jorginho was looking.
I ain't scared of no Jorginho, bro. George. I'm not scared of George.
Third best player in the world the other day, was it?
No, but one injury to Rashford. Yeah, but one injury to Rashford and you guys.
Nah, but Party's actually injury prone. Like you can't trust Party to be fit the rest of the season. He's shown that he'll get injured at any given moment. Man City game, biggest time of the season. This guy's always injured. Last season, top 4 race, he's out for 3 months. So you can't trust Party to be there.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm weirdly enough comfortable with Jorginho. Like, as long as he don't go down, I think on the ball, he does exactly what we need him to do. Off the ball, it's debatable. But even Partey, as much as we think he's great off the ball, sometimes I've seen him get run past and all sorts of stuff happening to him as well. It's not like he's a perfect DM. at the same time. So listen, I don't know. It's a conversation 100%, but every team, if I say to Man City, I'll take out De Bruyne and Haaland,
but you can't do that. You gotta say, I'm talking about injury-prone players, though. Like, De Bruyne is not injured. Actually, De Bruyne is injury-prone, but Man City don't need De Bruyne, bro. Man City can lose De Bruyne. Gundogan will step up and he'll score goals. He's shown it before that Man City can win the league without Kevin De Bruyne.
Nah, Man City is Rodri. Man City is Rodri.
Rodri. Yeah.
Anyone else. Man City is Rodri.
Ain't no one scared of no Calvin Phillips, bro. Ain't no one scared of no Calvin Phillips.
Look, Freedom of Liverpool says City, Bayern, Madrid are the 3 best teams. Napoli, right, add them to the 4th. And then there's a whole
Champions League.
And then there's a whole heap of conversations to be had. Arsenal, United. And look,
I think next season we'll have a proper answer. Next season we'll have a proper answer because
no, but I was gonna say,
Barça
give us a one-off game. Give my team a one-off game, and dead as we are, give us a one-off game. And
right now,
bro, we just beat Napoli, Man City. We've just beat.
I'm talking about right now. No, forget 2 months ago. I'm talking about right now. Are you talking about right now, or like when you're fully healthy? If you're fully healthy, I agree with you. You're fully healthy. I agree with you.
If you're fully healthy at Anfield.
Oh yeah.
None of these teams.
I'm scared to go. I'm scared. I'm still scared to go to Anfield in 3 weeks, March 4th, when we play you. I'm still scared to go to that game.
100%. I guarantee you, we're gonna beat you. I guarantee you.
I said, Grizz. I said on Twitter. I said, I don't care how the fact that the more shittier Liverpool get, the more scared I am to go to Anfield because the more confident I am that they'll beat us. When we beat you early in the season, we beat you.
Yeah.
And we weren't good, but you were better, but we still beat you. It's derby, even though it's not local.
3 weeks time, we'll have Jota. 3 weeks time,
he's gonna score against me.
We'll have Konate. We'll have VVD back. We'll have Diaz training. You'll be touch and go. But Jota, Bobby, Salah, Nunes. That's all I need them for.
And you'll be fully rested. We have a cup game midweek as well before you guys.
What cup game?
We have a FA Cup game midweek before the Liverpool game. You guys are in the
one
cup.
Of those
Liverpool or something.
We have a home game against West Ham, but it's still we're gonna be tired. We have so many games coming up that Liverpool will be more rested than us. That I just think we lose that game, but it's what it is.
But look, at the end of the day, Man United will be very happy with that result. At the end of the day, Bilal 2-2.
Yeah,
I think they go and finish that job. I just don't see this Barcelona team like many others or some others see them. I don't see him like that. And yet they're top of the league. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Look. But surely they go through, right? In the second leg. Or are you doing your Man United? Barcelona got something for you.
I need Barca to win just so we can batter them. That's all I want. United, you're ruining it. I don't want to play Man United, man. We played them how many times?
Yeah, but your club do not have a good history with Barcelona. Yeah, you get battered every time they play you.
I need it back. I need everything, all my revenge. Yeah, just like one time, just get Barca. I think we played in pre-season. That's not good enough. I need a proper game, But
so you're more interested in beating teams and getting your pride back than actually winning trophies. You do these,
bro. I'm waiting for Bayern next season.
Why? Look, this.
Why are you looking ahead to Bayern? You'll focus on your title. Focus on your title charge.
Listen, I'm focusing, but I'm telling you, this is the way I'm looking at it.
This is the attitude.
I'm trying to go to Allianz.
Why are you focusing on Europa, first of all? You shouldn't be focused on Europa. You should have been Europa. You should focus on beating Man City to the title. You don't need Europa. You don't need Europa.
Right? The closer the title race gets, the weirder it's going to be to play Europa. So I don't know, but I feel like Mikel is the type. Arteta is the type of guy to just play the first team.
So who you got in the Europa? Forgive me for not being.
Oh, no idea.
No, they're in the round of 16. They have a bye.
We're waiting for these guys. We're waiting for the Man Uniteds and that to come down, man.
Yeah, because they changed the rules last year. They changed the rules last year, so it's basically the drop teams from Champions League play the second place teams in the Europa group. So we shouldn't even be here right now. Real Sociedad that robbed us. It is what it is. We shouldn't be playing this useless game.
They're playing qualifiers for Europa League. It's a mad.
Come next week. I'm just probably gonna come back to bite me, but I am confident. I think Old Trafford will be rocking. Hopefully, we have more news on the takeover, so that will even up the pressure of Old Trafford even more. The crowd will be rocking. Busquets. I know people say Busquets can be back. I promise you, Sergio Busquets. This is not Cadiz away. You will have 70,000 Mancs yelling at you, and you will be feeling the Man United press. So he could come back. I'm not scared of no Sergio Busquets at the age of 35. Yes, he's one of the greatest DMs of all time. But like I said, this is not Real Valladolid away.
That's fair. But this ain't the Busquets of 10 years ago, man. Come on. Let's be real. And that's right. Yeah, United. I think United will have too much pace and power. I keep talking about this pace and power. It's back in fashion, people. Do you remember all of that tic-tac and all of that business? That Spain is gone. It's gone.
Did you see Pep the other night? I'm seeing hella long balls to Haaland. Just
That's what I'm saying. Look at who won the World Cup? Who won the World Cup? Argentina. Pace, power, raw aggression, and then Messi. Who's tell me who the tiki-taka in Argentina is. Come on, man. They got energy for days and days and strong centre backs, aggressive centre backs. It's all like physicality is back. And then obviously you have a couple of ball players in there like the Enzos and the McAllister. And that's it, man. The rest have to be beasts and animals. I look through that Barcelona team, but in a way, no Gavi and Pedri, who they're likely to bring in, like Dembele and Fati.
They have a kid named Pablo Torre.
Doubt he plays. Anzu, maybe he goes like a 40.
Fati and is Dembele long?
Yeah, he's not. He's out for another 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that guy is.
Oh, okay.
Busquets is the only player. Busquets is the only doubt. Like he might come back. Busquets, and I think he will come back. I think actually Xavi should play this smart. He has La Liga to focus on. They don't. And they do need Europa because they need as many.
I think they did focus on. I think they focused on this game. The selection suggests that they focused.
And I think he should focus again. I think they have Villarreal this weekend or something. They have a tough game this weekend as well, and they have right the week after us. They play like Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey. So I think Xavi might prioritize. He might throw this away, but we really don't need Europa League. We need Europa League more, even though we have a cup final 3 days after Europa. So I'm a little nervous about that.
So what day you play next week?
We play Thursday, and then we have the cup final against Newcastle on Sunday.
Interesting. Well, we'll talk about it next week. We got Eurostars next week, hopefully probably on a Wednesday, lads. Probably on a Wednesday.
When Liverpool play?
On a Tuesday. We play Tuesday.
Okay, yeah.
So we'll do a Eurostars Wednesday after the Wednesday fixtures, talking about the Liverpool game, the Man City game, and then look forward to the Barcelona game. I think tomorrow we may do a Premier League Khanage to talk about the games, interesting games coming ahead.
Newcastle this weekend. Jesus, that's a big game. That's a
statement. I didn't know.
Yo, if Liverpool win on Sunday, I really think they could get top 4. That's a statement game right there for you guys. That's how you announce it yourself.
But look, and you guys know me. I'm a positive guy as opposed to a pessimistic guy. But how many teams are going to Newcastle and winning these days?
They have no Bruno G.
Imagine you win.
They have no Bruno G. So
I'm here. I'm here for the confidence. I'm here. You know me. I'm not scared. I'm not scared to say things that may come back to haunt me, but I'll say it in my chest. If we go to Newcastle, we're back in the top 4 race. But my point is,
it's gonna be a tough game though.
Who goes to Newcastle these days and win? I think they're unbeaten, right?
They haven't lost at home.
Bro, the City game was it 3-3 in the end?
It's a fortress. Yeah, it's a fortress.
They have no Bruno G though. That's the only reason I think Liverpool should be a little more confident.
They ain't got no.
It's the maddest atmosphere in the Premier League.
We got no Thiago. We got no.
Yeah, Jota coming back though.
Yeah, he's still not going to be back to fitness.
Jota, that's a perfect game for Jota to score. A game that they're underdogs, he's a pest. That's exactly the game.
Jota, mark my words, Jota will be ready by the Man United game. Jota's not ready yet. He's still, Jota. I'm saving my Jota for United.
Why you gotta save? No.
Gakpo deserves to start anyway. Gakpo deserves to start after that last match, through the middle. Nunes on the left.
No, he don't. He was crap. No,
let him.
Yeah, he was bad, bro. A little
tapping. Out of all of them, Firmino's not fully ready to play.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. We'll talk about this on the Premier League Khanage. This has been the Europa League post-match. Man United take back to Old Trafford. There's no away goals, so it don't count for shit. Actually.
I wish there was.
Yeah,
there should be, man. This is ruining the games, by the way. This is not my team, by the way. How many times have I been knocked out by away goals?
Hold that. All I can say, hold that.
Now you're changing the rules. You wait for.
Hold that.
You must pay. You must pay for your crimes. But yeah. That's my last piece on away goals. Is he with us?
I'm back.
He's back. He's like a model.
What was you saying?
He's upset that they stole away goals from him because Arsenal got knocked out like 5 years ago.
That is a bit of a weird one. That is a bit of a bad one.
Like all the teams that I felt that pain of getting knocked out by away goals. That's a big part of European football. Why you're taking that out? Like it actually brings jeopardy to the games tactically. Like how many, like the Mourinho type managers, they can really play on this away goal. Like I think it's really good for football. Well, for knockout ties as well, especially in Europe. Going away from home, you get the way. It's mad. I don't know why it's called.
I'm with Aaron though. With the Liverpool game, a point wouldn't be a disaster. That would still mean we're 9 points behind with a game in hand. That's Wolves at home. Now I know Wolves have been smashing us left, right, and centre last couple of weeks, or a couple of weeks back. But if we beat Wolves at home, that's 6 points. I don't know, man. Football's a humbler. I'm already humble. You understand? Anything can happen in this wild season of ours. This has been post-match carnage. Hope you guys enjoyed this little impromptu. We had to speak about United. You know what I mean? They're doing bits. All right, fair enough. Mike was happy. Hope it don't last. We out of here. Take care. All right.